It's a beautiful thing. Let's try it. Hello. So this is a pretty monumental, incredible moment for me. This is being shot currently on my FS700, which is a camera that was so iconic to my life, played such a big role in the dailies, in a very important era of my life. I have a deep kinship with this camera. Put the microphone on my face roughly. It may not seem like much of a big deal, but this camera is a behemoth. I mean, it's just so big. But to get in on some of the more nerdier aspects to it, it only shoots 1080p, but it has a Cine cropped 35 frame, and it is still shooting in 8-bit color, even though that is like the old archaic way. There's just something about that frame and that 8-bit that just comes out beautiful. It's got 2 XLR ports with its own dual channel mixers that both do their own separate phantom power built right into it. It also has some very stunning S and Q, which is slow motion high frame at 250 frames per second, which at the time was very ahead of its time. Now, you get that on the iPhone. The reason I haven't used this camera in a long time is because I couldn't get it to turn on. I thought it was broken. I thought the on-off switch was just completely burnt out on it. Every time I would turn it on, it would either be completely unresponsive or it would, maybe do the boot up screen, show, and right as it started to get exposure, it would shut off. So I just thought, this camera's so old. I bought this in 2017. I think the actual manufacturing date was closer to 2014, 2015. At the time, it was a really professional or maybe prosumer, but professional level camera. Now you can get them like $400 on Amazon or on eBay. But so I thought it was completely broken. I even got bids on it to see what it would cost to fix the power switch. And then today, I just had this epiphany, one of those like shower thought moments where I was just thinking about the camera. I keep it on my shelf behind me, and every day I'm like, God, I wish I could get that thing to work again. I miss it. I miss the FS700. And I just had this moment where I go, wait a second. I wonder if I just plugged in the AC adapter to it. Lo and behold, here we are. The batteries still do not work. Now, I'm not 100% sure. These batteries are pretty old. They do work. I don't even know where they are. They do work on other things. I have a light panel that I use this battery for. It works seemingly fine, but it is a very old battery. So it's possible that the battery has just lost maybe some sort of voltage or wattage. I don't know, some sort of electricity concept that while it can still power the panel, it can no longer power the camera. So I'm going to toy with the idea of getting a new battery for this, because all of mine are really outdated. And if I don't get a battery, shooting on this camera is really limited to setups like this where it's plugged into a wall. I have gone as far as to thinking about what's some sort of a rig I could have where the AC adapter is plugged into some sort of big, heavy external battery that I could then attach to the camera or, put in a backpack or something and still be able to film, because I love this camera for so many reasons. I didn't even mention this. It has built-in ND filters, folks. I know that seems like nothing, but that is such a nice luxury for a camera, and something about the size of this, the weight, is just great. It's just a great camera. Like I said, have you picked up on the fact that I really am in love with this camera, and I'm so happy that I'm able to once again film on it. I hope. I mean, maybe this is all corrupted, and I am shooting an S-Log 2 right now, so it might not look as fresh and good as if I were shooting in something else, as a flat, because there's no exposure monitoring on this that I can tell. I'd have to dig into the settings. Like I said, back in the day, I didn't care about that kind of stuff as much. I still don't care about it all that much, but I just, my life lately has been trying to get better at S-Log 2. So that's it. I'm just here to gush about my excitement to have this camera in operation of some capacity, and I hope to film on it some more. On a side note, the other camera that I got to work here is the first ever camera that I ever purchased with my own money, which was this High 8 Handycam by Sony. It does work. You can turn it on as long as, you have the power adapter once again, but I do have battery. Well, it's not plugged in right now, so I can't even show you. But I do have batteries for this that are probably shot, but I do know that you can get replaceable batteries for these, because this takes a particular battery that is still relevant in the camera and electronic world. And I was so happy to find out that there was not a high 8 tape in there, because it did not oxidize in there. So there's a high chance that the playhead is still good. And then on top of that, a camera that I don't have working, but it's just fun and decided to pull out to put on my shelf as part of my sort of camera collection, is this old VHS camera. I did not purchase this, but this was the first ever camera that I ever used. I did lots of Star Wars flying the camera around the house videos back in the day. I used to actually do old-fashioned dubbing. There is a way on here where you can plug in a microphone and you can dub audio. So I used to buy these big CDs with like 1,000 sound effects, and I would film stuff, and then I would have to play back on the VHS, cue up the sound effect, hit the audio dubbing right at that moment, and then play it at the same time through them and hold the microphone up to my stereo to get that sound effect to then be dubbed over. So it was like very early on in camera editing, and that process, being able to be a part of that process, actually kind of solidified early concepts of how editing works and how layering works. And anyway, so I have a kinship to that old Magnavox as well. Since we're just talking about camera news, sad news is my Sony A7S seems to be dead. Don't know what happened, but I cannot get it to power on with any batteries. And that's a camera that's not old. I've been using that for the last year or so, but I think that one's bit the dust. Enough about me. Enough about my cameras. Hopefully you'll see more content on this soon, and hopefully it won't be tethered to a tripod and an AC adapter. So hope it looks good. Hope it sounds good. Again, this microphone is plugged directly into the camera through an XLR. It doesn't even need a little XLR to 1/4 inch adapter or 8, whatever. Okay, good night.